Alright YouTubers, before we get into the atheism timeline video, let's take a look at our display model here. On this side, we have what is called reality. That is, atoms and forces are measurable, real things. On this side, we have what is called mythology. That is, gods, demons, angels, souls and spirits, karma, are not measurable real things, but rather metaphysical concepts mostly based on ancient stories. Now the question is, how does belief in the tenets on this side lead one to becoming an extreme atheist? Or, as I like to say, an extreme realist? Pat, what's your opinion on this book right here?
That is like, I might as well sit on the title and take a shit, because everything that's come from there is just complete garbage. Like, if you're basing any beliefs upon that, like, you might as well just fucking toss your head in a field of hay and light it on fire.
Alright, what about, if you're going to send out a message for our fellow atheist community, what would you say comparing this book to this book?
The Quran, like, I mean, are you serious, dude? Like, this is the 21st century. Like, people know how to work machines. Like, the joke's on you, man. Like, get along with humanity, bro. Like, this should be just like, do you believe in tooth fairy? Nobody's gonna leave $5 on your bed. Like, you better put in work, dude. Like,
okay,
welfare is not gonna take care of you. Like,
alright, what about, do you believe in atoms?
I mean,
do you believe that atoms exist?
we dropped some big ass bombs over Hiroshima. That shit seemed to work. Like,
there you go.
So there's more pictures about 9/11.
So there's more truth on this side than there is on this side. Is what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. I mean, like,
all right.
Like,
all right. Let's pause on that one and see what we got.
Okay. So how does belief in atomic theory lead to atheism? To explain how atomic theory leads to atheism, let's take a look at the following diagram. At top left, we have two carbon atoms modeled using positively and negatively charged floating neodymium magnets, wherein we see that the structure of a single carbon atom is comprised of 6 positively charged protons in its nucleus. Protons, in fundamental particle speak, being comprised themselves of up and down quarks, which are types of fermions, according to the Standard Model. Fermions being defined as fundamental particles that have half-integer spin. The nucleus, in turn, is surrounded by a sea of 6 negatively charged electrons, which, in fundamental particle classification, are types of leptons, which is a type of fermion, according to the Standard Model. The electrons, in turn, are held in proximal location to the nucleus by way of the electromagnetic force, which is mediated by field particles called photons, shown by the gamma symbol. Photons actuate an exchange force between the nucleus and the electrons, thereby holding the particles in proximal location in a bond. Photons, in fundamental particle speak, being defined as a type of boson, one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. Bosons are characterized by the fact that they have integer spin, whereas again, fermions have half-integer spin. Together, fermions and bosons define the structure of the universe. When 2 carbon atoms, through the action of the fundamental forces of the universe, are brought near each other, the electrons of the first carbon atom begin to attract to the protons of the second carbon atom. Likewise, the electrons of the second carbon atom begin to attract to the protons of the first carbon atom, and thereby a chemical bond results, held in stable arrangement by way of a balancing of attraction and repulsion of electromagnetic forces. The discerning point to note here is that there is no God or gods involved, just protons, electrons, and photons. This is all straight textbook chemistry.
Well, 6 is above carbon, so these are like 2 carbon atoms. Now if you put them together, we can make a bond. Now these, if I move them together each other, these electrons are going to start attracting to this one, and those electrons are going to start attracting to this one, and they'll form a bond. See how there's new patterns forming? Yeah. And these 2 positive charges push against each other. Like I can.
They're almost like friends.
So this is what's called a molecule. 2 atoms bonded together. You get it? So all these electrons, some of them attract to this one, and some of them attract to this one. But these two positive charges are called the neutrons. They repel from each other. But the whole thing as a structure holds together. So this is kind of what humans are. You get it? How humans are a structure of electrons and protons, and you're stuck together, but you're bigger, a large number of these.
Humans, in turn, are also proton-electron configurations, as American sociologist George Lundberg defined people in 1939, or in a more general sense, carbon-based 26-element atomic geometries. Subsequently, when human-human reactions are viewed as purely chemical reactions, just like the carbon-carbon bond-forming reaction, a view believed to be true by 66% of people, there is in turn no God or gods involved in the process. This, in short, is why the logic of atomic theory, scaled up to the human social level, leads to atheism, or disbelief in existence of gods. In respect to relationships, for example, one can either believe that love is a chemical reaction and thereby accept the models of physical chemistry explaining this process, according to which one can better understand deeply emotional processes such as marriage, divorce, relationship dynamics, or national wars, etc., as being but purely natural processes mediated by the laws of the universe, or alternatively, one can side by their respective folk religions, reject this model, and in turn, or rather instead, believe in God or gods, and thereby, for example, pray for his or her relationship to work, a new friendship to form, or for a war to end.